Traditional man like that. Welcome to the show. I got Charles with me, aka Charlimo, who has been a member of the P-Man Performing Musician Association of Nigeria, and of course into other NGOs and making society a better place. And I will leave the floor for him to introduce himself personally, professionally, before the world. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our guests for today. Mr. Charles. Can I say Chief Charles?
No, not Chief. At this kind of time, there's no chief.
There's no chief.
Everybody's level.
Okay, everybody's level. Okay.
I want to thank you for having me on your program.
Yeah, okay.
My name is Charles Imoloame.
No, okay.
My friends call me Charlimo.
Okay.
I am a graphic designer,
Okay.
a musician, and a businessman.
Okay.
And in times that we are now, it is there are times that everyone is holding back to make sure that you hold a professional family and you also survive, so that you don't die.
Okay. There's one stream of income cannot survive you any longer.
It is difficult for one stream to survive you. So that's why you see I mentioned the music aspect. I also mentioned the graphic aspect. You know. But in all of it, the two of them are suffering at this time.
Are suffering.
They are suffering at
So
this
I
time.
have to have another stream of income.
To join that, to be able to continue, which is the business
how,
side.
how do you now survive?
The business side. The business side.
Okay, let's take you from the business side. You say you're a musician.
Yes.
Now, how far have you gone in the music world, and who are those that you've mentored or studied in the music industry?
Well, in the music world, I have played very vital roles.
Okay.
I was at one time chairman of Lagos State P-Man.
Okay.
Before then, I was vice chairman to Onyeka Wenu, who was the chairman of Lagos State P-Man.
Passed on.
Yes, she's, may her soul rest in peace. She's passed on. Then the performance based on the performance that we had in my own tenure, Chris Enabulele, she's also late now.
Passed on.
May her soul rest in peace. I now joined her in this national. I became her vice president at the national then. Okay. Things went so well at that period. Things were okay. Basically, I was working for the industry. Working for the industry in ways that we were trying to up the game for musicians. And if you look at that era, you discover that a lot of stars came up at that time.
What era was that?
That could have been 1997.
97.
Between 1997 to 1999, when we gave up office.
Okay.
We saw three governments.
Okay.
We saw the government of Obasanjo. No, sorry, not Obasanjo. Obasanjo was later.
Yeah.
Yaradua and Abacha. We were the ones that we were the government when Abacha was there. At the tail end of Abacha's government, Absalami came in, and from Absalami Obasanjo. So it was our era that we had the Nigeria 99, the World Youth Championship. There were so many things that upped the games for musicians. So Chris Enabulele, my president then, was also very influential among the echelon that mattered at that time. So I was just a vice president following her. So we, the officers, were following her and enjoying the smooth ride, the smooth opportunities she was opening for musicians at the time. Okay. So a lot of musicians came up.
Okay, and now judging by the word you said, music time, 1997.
Yes.
Say. But 1997, that means it must have given birth from 1996 as it were.
Oh, sorry, so it was 1997, yeah. 1997, yes.
Now, artists then, musicians then.
Yes.
Do we still have musicians now?
Well, there are musicians now. Even bigger musicians. We are talking about them.
There are two words between musician and artist.
Musicians and artists. It's only a thin line that is between them. Okay. Because musicians are really artists too. It is.
How do you define them?
I would define them this way. You first of all become a musician, and by the time you come out,
what does it take to be a musician?
what it takes to be a musician is to be creative, to be able to write songs, to be able to find melodies,
to play instruments,
to be able to. Well, not quite. You could have an instrumentalist that plays instrument for you.
Okay, but you can even play an instrument then.
What I'm saying is that you like I play instruments. I play guitar. I play a lot of instruments. But there are some musicians that would find somebody else who play instrument for you. He says, my song goes like this. It depends on the song you are singing. Your song, the carriage of that song, or the vehicle that you use to drive your song, will not depend on what you choose, whether high life, whether it is reggae, whether it is Afrobeat. You know. So when you now find somebody who can carry that message you want to pass on to the public, will now determine how it comes out at the end of the day. That is the first stage, which makes you a musician. Okay. You become an artist when you can now perform, because in performance it takes a lot. You move, you dance, you make your music real in the presence of people.
Okay, that means an artist cannot be a musician.
Well, an artist, you could be an artist and you are just doing drama. you be doing drama, you be doing your normal stories and everything. But the musician, that is the artist now, plays his music and is able to also perform.
That's what I'm going to. Because a true musician, like back in the day, like the KSAs,
yes,
the Benza Obis, the Savito Rifles, you understand? They play musical instruments,
yes,
and they also sing. They sang on the stage, yes. But the artists we have these days, they don't even touch the instruments. Theirs is just to stand.
They just perform
behind the mic. So those are artists. That's my judgment. I don't know how if it's correct.
Well, in all of it, you can be right with the way you have analyzed it. But like I said, even Victor Waifo at the time influenced the Sunny Ades and the Obes.
Okay.
Because I remember Victor Waifo told us sometime that when he got to London, they used to sit on chairs to play their guitar and sing. They would just sit down, play their guitar, do their songs. But he now said to them, why don't you put a bit of act in what you do? Stand up, and when you are playing the guitar, you can move, and which is the artistry. In selling your musical work. So that was how it happened, and that's why you saw that those juju musicians now started to add flair into what they were doing. They discovered that they were making more sense, and they were becoming more acceptable even to other cultures. Because the time came was that juju music was just Yoruba music, and they just saw it was Yoruba music. But later on, by the time they started performing, you saw the acceptance was there. Even people like Shina Peters, even though he was playing Afro juju and all of that, they were all forms of the Yoruba music called Fuji. But he was able to arrest the attention of a spectrum of a lot of the Nigerian other cultures, and he was playing in all the places, sharing his works and good.
Okay. Now, artists of those days, I'm taking you back. Of course, before we dive into what
yes.
In those days, songs, lyrics had content.
Yes.
Had content, had meanings. That's why we still play them. We call them old school now.
Yes.
Like I play one of those songs back to back and still get the feel, the flavor, the rhythm, the lyrics.
Yes.
You can play Chris Enabulele songs, can still feel the meaning, the songs. Now, artists of these days, are they putting up content for our generation that we have today?
Honestly, I will say not. Most of them don't. They just come with a
beautiful.
They just come with some lines, and you just cash in on that. Especially if it is what the youth like, or if it's a slang that the youth is capitalizing on. They come with it and they just put a little bit of rhythm and they play their beats. And such songs you may not be able to remember on the long time.
Like, can you perform that song on stage?
Well, sometimes they could, because there are so many things that you can use on stage now. Modulators and all kinds of equipment can help you to reproduce those tones that you have used and you perform. But like I said, if you listen to people like this guy that sang African Queen, Two-Face Libya.
Yeah.
You are my African queen.
Yeah.
You know, You Are My African Queen was a praise song for women. And you see how it went up, boom. Until today, when you play it, it makes the same, it makes meaning. And a lot of people are happy listening to such works. So what I'm saying is, I agree with you that most of the songs that they do today that you cannot remember because they don't have lyrics that can make meaning to the day-to-day existence of the human person, we always fade away. But when they come, they have a
time lapse.
They have a timeline.
And acts like Orisuleki, Rastaki, one of Blessed Memories.
Yes.
So they have great songs that when you play, it's like they foresaw the future.
Yes.
What kind of artists will you call those people?
I call them artists, very serious artists that considered Majek and Co. They considered society, and they were sending messages. Their vehicle was reggae, and you see, some look at reggae as a rebellious type of music, because reggae tells you how it is. So when they play that reggae, the way, if you look at the rhythm of the reggae, it opens up for them to say what they want to say. And that's why you are talking about this particular artist that you are saying, Oris Blakey, people like Raski Mono, and Majek Fashek.
Mandators.
Yes.
These guys really at the early 80s.
They sang songs that made a lot of sense. Today, if you still put Majek Fashek's song on, it talks to society. It talks to leadership. It talks to, what good governance should be in today's world. So these are part of the things that they did. And don't forget the big Afrobeat king, Fela Kuti. He's no longer here with us today, but his songs, they still resonate, and they keep telling us about what it should be like. The things I was complaining about those days has not even changed up till now.
Now, okay, I have two questions I want to ask. First of all, does it mean that artists then were abreast with the feelings of society, and artists now are not abreast with what is happening in society?
Well, thank you for that question. The truth of the matter is that maybe those particular artists of that time were concerned about the ills of society and what was going on. It's even worse today.
Then I'm saying,
it's even worse
because there was problem then. That's why they were crying then.
Yes.
Now, is it the artists of today? They don't feel the hardship.
The artists today, they just want to survive. They want the money. They want the cash.
So no message should pass through their vehicle.
Today, I have seen somebody who sang "My Name Is Ike Chuku," and that's all he sang. And I'm sure, if he sells that works online, he makes his money. And so everybody,
not passing any message.
Most of them get concerned now about how to make the money. There are so many things happening today that will have caused many artists to write songs that will, that will hit you, that will hit you deep, But most of our youths now, they are so, you see all of them, they become stars before they even start singing. They have the dreadlocks. They have the dreadlocks.
That one is catchy.
Yeah,
that one is catchy. They become stars.
Yeah, they become stars.
When you say they become stars before they start singing, I don't understand.
No, the feeling. When you see them, they make you feel that, look, this is a star coming. When you say sing for me, he cannot even play a string of a guitar. He cannot even sing. So if he manages at all and he decides to releases an album, it is like he's talking.
And those days we have singers before stars.
Oh, you have to sing before you have to perform and all of that. And you get groomed in places, in different levels. you go to TV shows and all of that, and people start to spot you, say, this guy can sing. It is from there somebody discovers you and they come and say, look, we put money on you so that you play that song I was hearing you play on TV. Can you sing that song again? So those were the thing. But today's musicians, or today's artists, Davido, for instance, nobody knows what Davido went through. Davido, comes from a family that's rich family, you know. Yeah. But when Davido tells you his story, Davido actually was a talented musician.
Producer? No, he was a producer.
Okay, he was a producer. Yeah. But when I say talented musician, if you're a musician and you're a producer, it makes you a better.
Just like Nelson. Okay, you know the likes of Nelson Brown.
Nelson Brown is a very good. So this guy went all the way, even when he was abroad and all of that. He knew what he wanted. He knew where he was going. So it was not about his father's wealth or anything. And as he came out with the songs that he had, he makes sense with it. And today, boom, it's there. And yet you find some other people who are not really creative, but they also manage to hang there. Some will even come because they have a lot of funds and they put themselves in places where you can notice them. And we are proud of our own Rema. Rema is doing well. He was home recently. Rema is doing well. Johnny Drill and all of that. They sing songs that that people key to. So for me, I would like to advise that when any young person is trying to make things out of music, sit down, write songs, look at society. There's so many things to write about. You could write about love, you could write about ills of society, you could write about even state of the economy. You could even correct leadership through songs.
Yeah, that was what the likes of Mandatos, Magic Fashion.
So you could correct society, you could correct governments through your advice, and they will come in your songs.
Even Fela himself.
Now
what he said, I was driving the other day. I decided to play some sounds from Fela.
Yeah.
Unknown Soldier.
Unknown Soldier.
Unknown Soldier and the rest. So I listened to the lyrics back to back. I put it on replay. Yeah. And I said, this man, it's like he was a prophet. There was things that are happening as they happen now. That means as at then, the economy was bad.
Yes.
But people were still enjoying.
Yes.
Now that drives me to the present world. How will you describe the economy of today?
The economy of today is not particularly favorable to anybody. And I really feel sorry for President Tinubu, because we were looking highly at his capacity to turn Nigeria around, especially when we're coming out of the Buhari regime. But unfortunately, the policies that he has put in place are not working. He has brought hardship to everywhere. People cannot afford to be buying fuel at the rate.
Is he the one that brought hardship, or the cabals? That's so to speak.
Well, sometimes in leadership, if you come to leadership and you don't take care about the way you read out your policies, it may overwhelm you. It may leave you. Because when the people you describe as cabal take over, you may not be able to even know how to turn around. Because they will now start manipulating you. President Tinubu came to government. He was, under controversial circumstances. Then, on his day of swearing in, he said he removed subsidy, which is good.
So maybe he didn't understand what it means at that time.
Well, for a man who had been leader of APC as a government, I did not think he should have been more careful. Because if he got there and decided to say, okay, let me see those who are even asking for this subsidy. You get your ministers in place, you get your team in place, and you now say, okay, what this petroleum thing, how does it happen? Who do they pay this subsidy to? Let me even see the people. Let me know how much they supply to earn the kind of money they earn. Maybe it will have given you an idea to confirm what some other school of thought were saying, that it was all a scam. Okay. But unfortunately, he had said that already. With that pronouncement, that same day, it did not take 2 hours. Fuel jumped up to 500. So which means it was not even his making. It was premeditated by the same cabal you are talking. So when he went to 500, the man probably got his. By the time he was getting himself together, NNPC had taken over the show.
So that means NNPC will say at the cabals of those that are running the affairs of the country.
Well, you see, the president is the minister for petroleum,
yeah.
and the closest to the president that he knows is the NNPC. That is the government agency that is closer to him, and he's going to likely take more to the advice that they give him. And you can even see that the way it has played out, NNPC will always want to stay in between the gap and in between the marketers and the way it gets to us, the customers who buy. The good one that happened to us was the closest good one that has come is the refinery of the Dangote refinery. I don't see anything that will have been a problem. Dangote, how much are you producing for? You are not exporting the oil. You are not importing. You are not shipping oil and returning oil back. You are just picking it from
our
backyard and refining it. How much is it? Then let people determine how much they will use it. How much they will use to ferry them into the hinterland. If NNPC was even going to take part in it, NNPC has 4 refineries to their credit.
But the 4 are not working.
Well, they have the pipelines.
Yeah.
The pipelines that is also available to NNPC is about 5,300 and something kilometers, which means they can pump. Yeah, they
can still pump.
They can pump without even using without having to move them through trucks.
But they say it's not working. That is the government magic that was saying.
That is why government should look at NNPC and look if they really still need NNPC. They should calculate. I'm telling you, look, all those refineries are, the people are being paid in those refineries, even though they are not working. There are officers there.
I understand there were recruitments one time for NNPC, and I said, the president is not working. Why would they be recruiting staff?
So that's what I'm telling you. These are all things we must all think about as Nigeria. We should look at our nation and look at what is best for our nation. How can you be paying people who are in a refinery that does not produce 1 liter of fuel? And they say even some of them are paid bigger than directors in government agencies. Yeah. So those are decisions that that government sadly
they should scrap NNPC.
Even if they don't scrap it, they should remove their hands from some things that are not comfortable. If the refineries are not working, deploy those people to other areas. We need to farm. They can go and be farming and do some other things. We could open up the space for other things to happen. Then the NNPC itself should not begin to still regulate when they say the downstream is deregulated. They should leave marketers to go and buy wherever they think they can buy.
The downstream, the upstream sector, and of course
they should let it go. So those things are really making life difficult for the ordinary person. If you look around today, you find that people are some are even dying. They can't even buy drugs. From drugs to food to sustenance, daily sustenance is so difficult. Even those who are working are earning salaries. If you say today we are talking about minimum wage, that wage takes it's transport that takes that 70,000 from some people, because from where you live to where you go and work, So at the end of the day, I think our nation should look at where the crust of the problem. I think the crust is fuel.
Okay, now if the crust is fuel,
yes.
Okay, if the fuel situation can be abated, that means the economy will be okay.
Well, it will get better.
Okay,
because again the immediately subsidy was removed from petroleum. The foreign exchange market also was also.
Now, this one I was watching a sister television, and they said a price of $1 is about 170 naira.
1,700.
1,700. Sorry, 1,700.
Yes.
To
$1.
To $1. I said, God, where are we going to? Just $1, 1,700. That is the jackpot syndrome.
The truth of the matter is that when you hear government telling you, don't worry, it will be better, and you ask yourself, better from where? You took us from where fuel was 180 naira per liter.
200 at most.
You are now from 180 naira. We are now paying 1,200 and something for fuel.
300.
And you say it will be better. When will it be better? What are the signs? And that's what we are not getting. There's no sign. There's no calculation that okay, by this time in December or by this time next year in February, fuel will come back to below 180 naira. Everything is just up, which means he has left the control, or he has left the grip of this president and government. So what he needs to do is to cry out and let people know where the problem is coming from.
Okay, now in all this now, you said minimum wage cannot even, the minimum wage you have, I cannot take a worker home. So what do you think should be the average minimum wage of a Nigerian worker?
Well, it's even hard to determine. Even if you are saying it's 250,000, 250,000 will not even be enough. Because if he buys a bag of rice for his family, you have spent over 100,000 already. Then manage your children's school fees and all of that. So we are.
But you mustn't eat rice every month.
Well, the rice seems to even be more stable now, because even yam has gone to like yam. You buy yam for the least you can buy for yam is about 3,000, 4,000 for the manageable one. So if your family must eat yam at 3,000 a meal, they will put stew, they will put other ingredients and all of that. By the time they finish a meal, you are talking about close to 10,000 naira.
The family of how many?
A family of even three. The man, wife, and one little baby. I didn't talk about baby milk. I go and check how much baby milk is.
Family of one, that is the husband and wife,
and one baby. We are talking about that small tuber of yam of 3,000. So it's sad. And
so sad.
For what of my area of the music business, nobody can spray anymore. There's even no show that you can go because the money is hard everywhere. That those who throw party now are just exceptionally blessed people. You can't go out in the night and say like those days and say, musicians live they live on nightlife, where you go to clubs, you go to shows. I mean, you go to event centers where they perform for you. You spray them some money and all of that. That's what they live on. You that want to spray, you don't even have. The event center place cannot sustain them. So many of our members can't even. They can't get good life now.
It touched me so much because you said the family of today 10,000 will not be enough to have a square meal.
A small meal.
A small, not even square now. Small meal.
Small meal of a yam and
sauce.
Yeah, sauce.
Okay.
So what are we doing?
And now, today happens to be International Food Day.
Yes.
Now, what's your take on this? Are people enjoying the food as it were?
People, in fact, I read something before I came to this show.
Okay.
A friend of mine, you will know him, Austin Secretman.
Okay,
He was coming from Lagos.
That's
yes, he was coming from Lagos. He was going to Urum, and he said he got to Ore. He saw a lot of plantain coming out from the bush. There are enough food coming out from the bush to those who sell by the wayside. But he also observed some plantains, some getting ripe. And when plantain gets ripe, it will be spoiling up. Which means the patronage for those plantain in season is not like what it used to be for them. Maybe because people are not even able to afford transport to even come there to buy, because you have to afford transport to go.
Yeah.
So he said when he left there, on his way to Ishan, some places he passed, he saw all kinds of yams, people bringing out food. But the issue is, how do they transport this food to the urban centers where people can buy them? And if they do, the cost will be overwhelming on those who buy them. So food is not like it's scarce now, because recently the issue of Fulani herdsmen attacking farmers and co looks like it's a bit reduced. It's not like what it was before. But for these people to move their products to the urban center is another big problem, because any vehicle they hire to move those products will add costs to what they want to sell for. So at the end user will pay for all that all those costs. So yeah, food, there's improvement really. Food is coming up. Farmers are able to go to some places, even though those herdsmen challenges are still there. But recently it's like food is there. But to move them because of the cost of petrol is difficult.
Okay, what are ways do you think we can abate these challenges?
I think, for me, I would suggest that Nigeria becomes a production nation. We begin to produce. What do I mean by that? Yes, dollar is high the way it is and all of that. You don't need to, to import if you have the kind of, or just import essential if you have the kind of problems we have in Nigeria. Bring down the fuel cost at any rate. Since we produce it, since God gave us free from the soil, the government should look at it and say, let us bring fuel down. Let it not be more than like 300 naira per liter. So that people can at least manage to live, and cost of food and cost of living will come down. The other side may be that, okay, since you cannot buy the foreign shirt, you cannot buy the foreign shoe, textiles and all of that, you now encourage textile industries, food processing industries to begin to work. It may take some time, but
that is true. It may take some time.
It may take some time.
Now, the leaders we have been issued before now.
Yes.
Didn't have the specialist education, this sophisticated education, and things were working fine. Then I remember a dollar was like 2 naira to 1 naira. This time
18 naira, sorry, to 1 dollar.
Okay, 80, yeah, okay. Now this time, these leaders then don't even have the first-hand education as it were. Don't have the scientific education as it is now, and things were moving fine.
Yes.
So when you say the education we have now is a blessing or a cost to us?
The education we have now is a cost. Because you see, when those dollars, when Nigerian money was good, and those dollars were 80 naira to a dollar, and I think 1 naira to $1. Yeah, 1 naira to a pound.
A pound?
Yes. What happened?
That means 1 naira is 1 pound.
What happened is, well, you know, the white man perpetually wants us down.
Yeah.
They want us down. They don't want us to be anything. They now go around and they meet our professors, our very brilliant guys.
Now that's
our educated. I mean, you talk about the elite. When they meet them, they tell them that your money is too strong. Why don't you take a time frame and begin to devalue it? That's how this educated people started to water down our currency up to where we are today.
So the white people know that our currency was very strong.
We had textile industries. We had in fact we even had car manufacturing companies. Gowon time. Yeah, Gowon time. Yeah, Gowon established the Pocho assembly.
Yeah, Pocho
for $8 million pounds. I mean, sorry, 8 million naira. What am I talking about? For 8 million naira, the Volkswagen assembly plan was about 6 million naira. So what am I saying? Our money was very strong. Naira was very strong. The so-called so-called educated people who are also bastardizing elections in Nigeria today. Because, come to think of it, bad leadership that we have are brought by professors in universities, and they belong to us.
They are the Reds.
They are the Reds. They belong to us. They are in the universities. They are professors, by the way. They are the ones that plunge us into bad governance of today. Because when they see the things that they see, So that is how we have had it. When they come back and they say they want to show you that they know that they are very brilliant, they come and tell you, IMF, World Bank is advising that our money is too strong.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Uncle Charles.
Thank you.
That's the much you can take on the show. I want to say thank you so much for being here on the show, sir. Hope next time we'll call you again. Because it's getting interesting. I think I need to have a part 2 of the show.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you to my DOB who has been eluding me over some time. Thank you so much, Clinton, for being there, punching those buttons, and the crew over there. I want to say thank you. Thank you to the IT students right here. Thank you so much for being there. And you watching, I want to say thank you. Next week is another beautiful edition. Till then, stay out of trouble and please keep yourself safe. My name is Chris
Professionals with Chris Enabulele.